I think Max Fried is still hurt.
Mm.
And he's not going to admit it. And generally, teams don't admit it until the guy winds up on the IL. But he has not been good since the All-Star break.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsulias. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Football season is around the corner. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now. With me, as usual, my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian, how are you doing today?
Stacey, would you place a futures bet on Giancarlo Stanton?
Playoffs, yes.
We need to get into that.
Wouldn't everyone? Yes. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to Locked On Yankees on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like our videos, and click the bell, because the bell will tell you when those videos go live. And we are on TikTok. You can follow us at LockedOn_Yankees. We're very close to 700 followers, which is exciting. On today's show, we'll preview the pitching matchups for the Yankees, visit to their spring training home in Tampa. We'll tell you about some news around the league. It's also Tuesday, which means we're trekking through the minors. But first, we have two major things to look out going forward this season.
Yeah, so we didn't get to this on yesterday's show, on Monday's show, mainly because they were coming off of the series sweep, and that felt more important than these two other topics, but they are concerning. So we're going to add them in at the start of this episode if they didn't play a game on Monday night. So I want to get to two things. There's two major problems the Yankees have on their team right now that I think need to be addressed and will do the honors. Max Fried and Giancarlo Stanton. I'm going to start out with Max Fried, Stacey. I think Max Fried is still hurt. And he's not going to admit it. And generally, teams don't admit it until the guy winds up on the IL. But he has not been good since the All-Star break. He hasn't, plain and simple. His ERA is over 6. I'll sit here and tell you what I told you yesterday. I have no reason to believe he's hurt until they admit it to me and tell me that he's hurt. And I'm not going to use an injury as an excuse until they tell me that he's injured or hurt. Because that's not fair to Max Fried. It's not fair to any other athlete that's out there. But there's got to be a reason for this. Because Max Fried is an ace-type pitcher. He has ace-type stuff. And aces don't struggle for this length of time. Aces have 2 or 3 bad starts in a row. They go through ruts. We've never seen Garrett Cole struggle for 2 months at a time like this. It just hasn't happened. So it leads me to think that something is wrong with Max Fried. It has to be. Even the Saturday game against St. Louis, gave up a ton of runs, was not competitive, and actually wound up getting the win in that game, but was not good. Yeah, right. Not good at all. It's now 7 to 10 starts that he's actually been really bad through. So this needs to get figured out. And here's the daunting thing is when you go into the numbers and the analytics of it, all of his pitches have lower spin rates than they've had all throughout from the start of the year. That usually is an indication something's wrong. And here's what's even worse. His best pitches, his 4-seamer, his sinker, and his curveball, which is what he dominates on. All of those 3 pitches, which are his 3 most thrown pitches, have all the lowest spin rate on all of his pitches. So that's a major concern to me. The stuff that he's the most comfortable with is the stuff that's struggling the most. I got to think he's hurt. To me, it's got to be the blister. It's either one or two things. It's either the blister, which, again, Fried and Boone have both said are not a problem. Or, if it's not that, which I hope it is the blister, if it's not that, it's fatigue. And he's just exhausted on August. So I'd rather it be the blister. Much rather prefer it be the blister.
Yeah.
If it's fatigue, I'm more concerned than anything else because this is a guy that's been on the IL the last 4 seasons, not for major issues, but he spent a couple of IL stints. He doesn't usually throw a lot. He's on pace to throw more innings than he's thrown his entire career. Are you concerned this is fatigue? Or do you think it's the blister and they're not telling us?
I think it's the blister and they're not telling us because if history has shown us anything, the Yankees love to not tell us about certain things.
Especially injury related.
Case in point, Anthony Rizzo, whose career was basically ruined by his head injury.
They love not telling you about head injuries. You think the Yankees are a football team because Clint Frazier doesn't. They did the same thing with Clint Frazier. They just didn't tell anyone what was going on when the guy was seeing double.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm thinking that I'm hoping it's the blister. I'm hoping it's the blister because you don't want him to be fatigued at this point in the season. Although, here's the thing. If this was maybe a 2-start stretch, you just chalk it up to it's August, guys get a little tired and then they pick things up. But as you said, this is from the All-Star break. It may even be longer than that. It's just been really bad since the All-Star break. We saw
ERA over 6.
We saw instances of this before the All-Star break, but now it's been steadily bad since the All-Star break. So
and now he's going to take on Boston over the weekend, which is it's the biggest start he's had as a Yankee.
Yeah, it could be ugly if he's pitching the way he's pitched since the All-Star break. This could be one of those games where they're out of it within the first or second inning.
Yeah, and here's the concern to me too is because of how he pitched at the start of the year, because of his reputation, because of the massive contract he got, he's going to start game 1 of a playoff series. And it's going to be a wild card series, which is best 2 out of 3. I don't think they're winning the division at this point. They still can mathematically catch the Blue Jays, but I don't think they're catching them.
Right.
He's your game 1 starter. If he's not good in game 1, that leaves it all on Rodon for game 2 to save their season. And me and you trust Rodon, but unfortunately, me and you are the minority when it comes to Yankee fans who trust Rodon. Because Yankee fans don't trust him. And do you guys out there really want to see Rodon starting a game 2? Because I know a lot of you don't, especially when it's game 2 do or die.
Right.
Yeah, no one wants to see that. And Max Fried might give them up to that. It might wind up being that because he's just not been good. And Yankees have a good offense. They'll stay in games, but he just has been awful.
I hope that Fried bought Ben Rice and Trent Grisham some steaks after that game on Saturday because they bailed him out big time. He gave up 7 runs and he got the win because his offense helped him out. Big time.
Ben Rice alone matched him with 7 RBIs.
Yeah.
The other issue that I think is a big problem going on, and this we need to discuss too, and I want to know this out of you. Do you think Stanton's hurt or is he broken? Is his body just broken?
I think he's just old and not used to playing the field because if he were really hurt, he wouldn't have pinch hit on Sunday. He would have remained sitting on the bench and they would have just said, oh, we just needed to give him another day of rest. And then they'd come out and say 2 days later, oh, we're putting him on the IL.
But not being able to pin to DH is weird to me. Not being able to come into DH in any of those games just because he played 3 games in the outfield in Yankee Stadium, and it's not like he did anything extraneous.
They want to get Judge going offensively because there have been flashes for Judge, and I think they don't want to sit Judge. That's the reason why.
Well, they said
it has more to do with him.
Boone said they didn't give him a DH appearance because of generalized soreness after playing those 3 games, which does concern me a lot. That he's a professional athlete. He's got soreness after playing 3 games in a row. I mean,
well, yeah.
Stacey, quite frankly, give me a break.
Have you worked out 3 days in a row? Have you been sore?
Yeah, but this is I'm not a professional athlete.
Yeah, but professional athletes get sore. Why do you think you see guys with ice packs on after games and stuff?
Anthony Volpe has played 150 straight games before getting the day off yesterday.
That's the point. He's used to playing. Stanton hasn't played the field since 2023, and they had him out there for 3 games straight. And he's 30. What is he? 35, 34? It's not that easy.
Well, we're going to find out about him. We're going to find out for sure if he's hurt or not starting tomorrow. Because if he's not in right field tomorrow when the Yankees play the Rays, then I'm going to start getting tonight. I'm going to be sorry. Lift the curtain. We record this on Monday night. It's hard to get used to, right?
We record the day before, and we act like we're saying we're talking about Tuesday. Yeah.
So if he's not, the reason why they apparently feel comfortable playing in Yankee Stadium is because that's where he's comfortable, and it's a smaller outfield. All those things, you can get to the ball a lot quicker.
I mean, you see how big Lewis's right field is. Could you imagine?
Yeah, it's huge
out there? No,
it's huge. I don't think he's a butcher out there, but I get it. It's huge out there.
I get it too. First, he's coming back from the elbow thing. He has the leg issues all the time. You don't want him running around right field in St. Louis.
But here's what I'll say: the interesting thing they have about Tampa is George Steinbrenner Field is replicated exactly as the same dimensions as Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
So if he can play Yankee Stadium, he can play it at Steinbrenner Field.
Right.
So he better be in right field tomorrow. And if he's not, then I get concerned.
He just has to be careful
these games
because, the foul line and the side wall are literally, if you're watching on YouTube, this far apart. If you're not watching on YouTube, I have my fingers up like I'm pinching an inch because there's no space there at all. He just has to be careful if he's making any wonky plays to, look out for.
And
wall.
the update attached to this on Judge is he hasn't even started throwing to bases yet.
Mm.
So it looked like it was going well. They showed us highlights of him throwing, having catch or playing catch, but he's nowhere close to coming back, in my opinion.
I feel like
if he's not throwing to bases yet.
I feel like Cole's going to start throwing further than Judge at this point.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Not a positive sign, in my opinion.
Hopefully things will be okay. Maybe.
But what are you going to do in the playoffs? If you haven't played a team on the road, are you? Is that the point where you play Stanton in the outfield and you say, if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. We need his bat in the line.
I think they're hoping by the time October rolls around that
ready.
Judge is able to play right field. Because if not,
to the point where Judge can only DH, and Stanton's bat is so valuable in the postseason, you're going to have to put him out there for road games and just live with what happens.
Yeah, and just like pray.
Yeah, just
like
pray.
Like I did the day that my friend's softball team needed a right fielder, and they said to me, "Don't worry, no one hits the ball to right field." And the first ball hit.
Was to right field.
Right to me. Thank goodness it was
Were you out the next 3 days for generalized soreness?
No, I felt pretty good, and I had never played softball in my life. I also hit a double.
Case in point.
Yeah. But again,
you're not quite as no offense, but you're not quite as chiseled as Giancarlo Stanton is, though.
No, but I was in pretty good shape then because I was in my mid-20s.
Stanton shape?
No, I could never be in Stanton shape. I'd have to take like creatine and all that stuff to get into Stanton shape.
There's too much pressure looking like that. That's why I don't work out at that level.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Yeah. It's choice. I don't want to look like that. I wouldn't want to. Look at how he's always hurt and he's injured. I don't want to deal with those injuries.
No, you don't want to have, hundreds of TikTok thirst traps made about you.
No, who wants that kind of attention?
Who wants that? Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notification so you know when our videos go up. You can also join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description. You'll get text from us. You can text us questions, comments, reactions to trades and signings. We send out the lineups during the season, any roster moves that were made. By the way, JC Escara back down to Scranton because I think they're getting ready to bring up Ahmed Rosario. And we send out breaking news so you don't have to check social media. There is a 14-day free trial. Coming up, we take our Tuesday trek through the minors and we'll tell you about how specific players did last week. Next.
August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions, so whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. You can take a flyer on the MVP race. It could be Mahomes, Burrow, whoever you like. Crown your champion as early as August, right? You can get divisional champions. You can make the playoff bets, right? Over-unders and team wins, divisionals, conference, Super Bowl. It's all available, and it's all on FanDuel. Also, you can parlay your division winner dark horses. That's an easy way to get those down to even money. It's so much fun, and it can all be done on the best sportsbook app, and that's FanDuel. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now because Futures Day is 1 day and 1 day only. FanDuel, play your game.
Welcome back. If you're new to the show, we have a day of the week that we love around here. It's called Fan Mail Friday, and you get involved in it. If you're on YouTube, this is how you send us questions and we answer them for you. You go to our channel's page, you click on the post tab, and you will see the latest post where I tell you where to leave your questions. You just leave them as a comment. Easy peasy. Deadline is Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Besides Fan Mail Friday, our favorite segment of the week is our Tuesday trek through the minors, besides news around the league. Stacey, let's hear what you got to say.
Let's start off with Scranton. The Rail Riders ended the week with a 1-game lead over the Syracuse Mets for the second half title. Very exciting. Good for them. In other good news from Scranton, Spencer Jones has hit safely in 5 of his last 7 games. Now he's only 6 for 31 during that time frame, but he was in a little bit of a malaise. That's Tom Kaczynski's word. After the back spasms, because he went through that crazy torrid pace where he was hitting home runs seemingly every day, sometimes 2. And then he was out for 4 days, 3 games with an off day in between with the back spasms. And he's starting to pick things up a little bit.
It kind of stunted his rhythm a little bit, the back spasms. So
yeah.
We'll see if we can keep it going here.
Like I said, was it last week or the week before? The back spasms probably have to do with all of the big home runs he was hitting, because he was hitting a lot of opposite field home runs. And we talked about his swing. It's just so long. And the way he swings, I'm not surprised he has back issues.
Yeah. They're gonna have to, but they're gonna fix those kind of things. It's kind of why we all know he's not. I don't think you're gonna see him in September.
I don't think so.
I don't. And people are desperate for it and want it really badly. I don't think it's going to happen, and I think it's for the best, honestly.
There's too much of a logjam there. They have too many people
he's not gonna
already
get
able to play the outfield. Yeah. Also,
they're sorry to cut you off. They're not in position to call him up and let him figure things out at the major league level right now.
No,
if they had a 12-game lead on the division, exactly. They need to win. They can't afford it.
If they were so far out of the playoffs, it didn't matter. Then they'd bring him up.
Or they had a crazy lead. But
they're in that spot where, no, every game counts. You can't just be like, oh, we're going to bring this guy up and try and play him. And you also can't bring him up and not play him. Because they've done that before, too. So
we're well aware.
Yeah. Jonathan Loaisiga began his rehab stint on Sunday. The Yankees have 3 pitchers on rehab stints: Loaisiga, Yarbrough, and Fernando Cruz. And as Tom Kaczynski said on his blog, this will make interesting roster decisions, or make 4 interesting roster decisions in the next few days. Because if those 3 guys get called up to the Yankees, people have to get sent down to Scranton. Tom Kaczynski thinks that it could be Yerry De Los Santos, Cam Schlittler, and Brent Heydrich. So
all guys they like, which is weird. De Los Santos, Boone's in love with, so I don't know if they're going to send him down.
Right.
Heydrich, I think, is definitely a candidate to get sent down. I don't know if you can. Do they want to? Don't you think they would learn from what they did with sending guys? Because that's what's going to happen with Schlittler. Is he's going to be a part of the party bus, the
taxi squad.
The taxi squad. Do they really want that? Haven't they learned their lesson with guys struggling through that? Clark Schmidt struggled by them doing that with him for a while.
Will Warren did
it. Yeah, there's too many guys they've tried this with, and it doesn't work for these guys. I don't know if they do it with the Schlittler. I don't know what their other option is. Yeah. But I don't know if they're going to do it with Schlittler, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And then Somerset, Ben Hess threw 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. And after allowing 6 runs over 9 innings in his first 2 Somerset starts, Hess showed everyone why he was last year's first-round selection. Overall, listen to this: 109 strikeouts in 81 2/3 innings.
Exactly what they're trying to breed. High strikeouts, starters that can give him a little bit of length. He's panning out to be one of their top prospects, and it feels like his reputation grows day by day in their farm.
Yep. Okay, so this is an interesting story. Hudson Valley was no-hit by Aberdeen on Saturday, and they were no-hit for the first time since August 2006, when they were still in the Rays system. And the sad thing about it is this happened on Bhutan night. So this was the uniform that they were wearing when they were no-hit by Aberdeen. How cool is that? It kind of
looks like, doesn't it kind of look like the Maryland state flag without the dragon?
A little bit.
It's the same colors, same kind of design. Cool uniform. I don't understand how the minor leaguers even afford those giant diamond chains. It feels like it's like a necessity with baseball. You know, when you go to college and you're really annoyed that the textbooks are all $300 each, but
and then you get $6 back.
Yeah, but you buy them because you have to, and it's like one of those expenses that just comes with the territory of college, and it's really annoying, but it has to be done. That's almost what the chains feel like in baseball now. Is part of the expense of being a baseball player is you need to invest in a $20,000 diamond thick chain. And if you don't have one, you can't play baseball. Because it was bad enough when the major leaguers were all wearing them. But now the minor leaguers have them. And I'm like, I thought you guys used to make like $13,000 a year. How are you affording these chains? But they've all got them. So
yeah,
maybe they're hand-me-downs from the major leaguers. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But the good thing for Hudson Valley is they came right back on Sunday and they won a 1-0 game, and they ended up winning the series 4-2. Also on Sunday, right-hander Cade Smith went 5 innings, not to be confused with Kate Smith. 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. And at that level, high A, he has a 2.50 ERA in 18 innings. That works out to 11 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, 1 home run, 9 walks, 19 strikeouts. He threw 64 pitches on Sunday. He also has missed most of the season to injury, so he's working his way back.
His numbers are great. When do we start calling for him to make the major league roster?
He has a little bit to go since he's with the Hudson Valley. He has like two levels to go before.
For sure.
Maybe. We'll see. Tampa, Dax Kilby, number 1 pick for the Yankees, 2 for 5 on Sunday with a stolen base. He had 2 runs batted in and runs scored. He got his first professional extra base hit. It was also his first multi-hit game. And after starting 0 for 9, he's now 4 for 13, which, not great, but at least he got the first. Once you get the first hit, things tend to get easier for you. And he's also going to be 19.
Yep, and now you can return to being a regular baseball player after, again, the 0 for is the hard hump to get over.
Yeah. And then the Dominican Summer League Yankees still have a slim chance making the playoffs with 2 games remaining. The regular season ends on Tuesday, today. They have a game on Monday night as we're recording this. They have a game on Tuesday. If they win both, it gives them a better chance of making the playoffs, but I think it depends on the people ahead of them, what they do. But if they win 2, they tried their hardest. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to.
And we'll be following all those games.
We won't.
I'll be pulling for the Dominican Summer League Yankees.
Yeah. The Bombers don't have a chance of making the playoffs.
Unfortunately,
but
I had high hopes for them.
But the Yankees do. So that's it for our Tuesday trek around the minors. Coming up, we'll tell you some news from around the league, and we will tell you the pitching matchups for this quick series down in Tampa next.
This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, the daily fantasy platform that lets you turn your football predictions into real rewards. Preseason is already heating up, and college football isn't that far behind. And whether you got your eye on big-name quarterbacks or breakout running backs, PrizePicks makes it easy to get in on the game. Whoever you think you're going to have is going to have a big year. Burrow, Mahomes, Josh Allen. Make sure you get on them, make them your picks on PrizePicks. Now, PrizePicks is very easy and simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. I've used PrizePicks for a few seasons now, and I love how simple it is to use. PrizePicks also always puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, run your game. And guys, good news. Not only do we cover your team every single day, but now we're giving you instant episodes after every single game. Check out the Locked On Yankees postcast. That's hosted by Jay Berman, and it appears right here on the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. It also streams on our YouTube channel. Get rapid reaction to all the biggest moments with the Locked On Yankees postcast. So, Stacey, as you mentioned, a 2-game series for the Yankees. The Red Sox are playing the Orioles for 2 games within the division. They kind of like to do this interdivision thing. The Red Sox will play their 2 games Monday and Tuesday, and then they will have a travel day to get to the Bronx because it's a very long trek from Boston to the Bronx. The Yankees will play Tuesday and Wednesday and then travel home Wednesday night to play the Red Sox on Thursday. So a little bit of disadvantage for the Yankees. I don't know why they couldn't have played. I'm sure the Yankees would have chosen Monday, Tuesday over Tuesday, Wednesday, but whatever. Both games will start at 7:35. They will both be yes games. Surprised the Wednesday game wasn't an Amazon Prime game. But they will both be yes games. Shane Baz will start for the Rays on Tuesday, 8-9 with a 4.93 ERA. He'll go against Carlos Rodon. He's 12-7 with a 3.25 ERA, and he has 164 strikeouts. So we're looking to see if he can crack that 200 strikeout marker this year. Wednesday's game, 7:35 on yes. Also, Drew Rasmussen, 10-5 with a 2.60 ERA. He'll face Cam Schlittler, who's 1-2 with a 3.94. Got the ERA to under 4. I love what I've seen out of him. I think the Yankees love what they've seen out of him. He's got moxie. Like he's got this crazy amount of confidence out there. I think he's a big game pitcher, and I'm loving seeing the evolution that he's had and the improvement that he's had even in his short time in the major league so far. So I actually get to the point where I'm very confident with Cam Schlittler on the mound, honestly.
I would agree with that. I have a quick question for you. When you look at the Rays starters, which one are you more afraid of?
It's a great question. Rasmussen, I will say, because of the really good ERA and how he's been, they've also hit Boz over the years. They've done a decent job against him. So I think when they're more comfortable, they're able to hit a guy with a 4 ERA. But I know where you're getting a 4.9 ERA. Hard.
Yeah. The hairs on the back of my neck go up when I see a 4.93.
That, and I think the Yankees see 8 and 9, and they're like, "Ooh, we can get him to 9 and 9. We can get his back to 500."
Yeah, help him out, get him to 500.
Oh, what an aggravating team. Well, let's go to news around the league. That should cheer you up a little bit. Nathaniel Lau was DFA'd by the Nationals. He's had his worst year of his career since leaving the Texas Rangers. All of his metrics are down. The Red Sox claimed him off of waivers, so we'll see if he's able to do something with Boston. I'm sure he will. He reeks of a guy that hits in the playoffs for them. Just out of nowhere. So we'll see what happens there. Did you see this story about Victor Robles?
Oof.
So he's playing for the Mariners in their AAA team in Tacoma.
Yeah.
He got hit by pitches in 3 times in 4 games over the weekend. And then a pitch was thrown, hit him in the arm on Sunday, and he threw his bat at the pitcher. Like, he took the hit by pitch, he kind of shrugged like most guys do, and then he chucked his bat at the guy.
Like, he chucked it like almost like a javelin.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this before. It's the weirdest thing ever. He got immediately ejected from the game. But it's funny because none of the benches cleared. It didn't, like, I feel like a lot of major league pitchers would have charged back at him.
Yeah.
The pitcher was more like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like, who does that? Like, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It's crazy.
Yeah, he did write a lengthy apology on his Instagram page.
Good.
And he said he's been going through a lot. He got sick and tired. He knows that he went over the top and over the line, that he shouldn't do something like that. And he was just saying all the stuff that he's going through, like being frustrated with the injury. His mother just passed away, and he said, "None of these are excuses. I'm just explaining to you why I'm in the headspace that I'm in and why I snapped." And I'm like, "Well, all right, I get it, but don't throw it back."
I'll give it to him, but don't throw it back.
Yeah, don't throw it back.
Exactly. Cal Raleigh hit his 47th home run of the year last night in the Little League Classic. Are you a fan of the Little League Classic?
I am. Yeah, and I like
cool.
I like the handshake at the end. I think that's cool. I like how they interact with the kids before the game. I just don't like the fact that ESPN treats it like a talk show with a baseball game happening in the background.
I'd agree with that. So he hit his 47th of the night. Now, Salvador Perez has the record for a catcher in a season. He did it in 2021. He had 48 that year, so Raleigh's going to shatter at that. If I ask you right now, does he break Judge's record? Yes or no?
Yes. And I'm going to be really annoyed about it. Yes. I irrationally don't like Cal Raleigh. It has nothing to do with this year either. I just don't like that his name is Cal, but his real name is Caleb. They don't sound the same. That just bothers me.
What's weird is Roger Maris for years was a household name. Mm-hmm. And Aaron Judge is a household name. I don't know if 30 years from now, Cal Raleigh is a household name. Will
Big Dumper be a household name?
Definitely. I'll be saying that in my future household, regardless of whether or not it's in reference to Cal Raleigh or not. And
or in reference to like after dinner activities.
Exactly. In reference to the talk show, I mean the baseball game that would happen on Sunday night. They had Rob Manfred on during the broadcast, and they asked him about several things that could be going on in baseball in the future. And they asked him about expansion and divisional realignment. And one thing I'm a fan of, the other I'm not. He said both are imminent, so they're both going to be happening in the next few years, which we kind of do figure is going to happen. But take a guess, knowing me, which one am I a fan of and which one am I vehemently against?
You're a fan of expansion and vehemently against realignment?
Correct. I want a team in Montreal. I think Montreal deserves a team. And I think that whole Nashville, Memphis kind of area is perfect for a team also. College baseball is huge down there. I think if you have a fun team down there, also when the Savannah Bananas play down there and play in baseball in college stadiums or minor league stadiums, they fill it up times 30. So I think it would be, they played in Tennessee Volunteers, the football stadium, and sold it out. So, I mean, baseball is a desired thing down there. I think the baseball's looking to go down there. Divisional realignment, I think, is the dumbest thing ever. These divisions have history behind them. There's a lore around it.
Not
Nobody,
really. Not really. No, there isn't.
No,
the divisions
because you're going back to Yankees and Brewers in the same division and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like Atlanta in the West, and
they've been the same now for a while though.
No, I
And
know, but
I
it's
think
not
people are
like this
used to
whole
it.
traditional thing. It's only been 30 years. It's not that big a deal.
30 years is a long time, and
No, but
I don't want to.
there are some moves that would make sense. Like Houston shouldn't be in the West. They should be somewhere in the middle. Like they should
No,
be a
but they're not
central
going to do
team.
that though. The East Division is going to be Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Phillies, and Nationals or Orioles. I don't like that. Like I don't want to see the Yankees and the Mets in the same division. I don't enjoy that. I like them being in separate leagues. I don't want the Yankees playing the Phillies in the same division or the Mets playing the Red Sox. Like I don't want to have to
I
relearn
do.
those World
You know
Series
why?
matchups.
Because of
It's
all the
annoying.
Mets Red Sox fans who would have to pick a team when they play each other.
Yeah, I don't enjoy that. I don't think never has. I know the Milwaukee Brewers once upon a time were in the AL East. I'm aware of all those realignment things that have happened. I'm old enough to remember the Houston Astros being in the National League. So
Well,
I get
that wasn't that long ago.
but it actually is at this point. But whatever. Regardless, there's certain teams that don't belong in certain leagues and don't belong to be chasing divisional titles down. Teams that have been around since the 1800s. Like the Yankees haven't played the Phillies in a game that wasn't a World Series game until 20 years ago when that interleague play started. Now we're going to have them play 15 times a year in the same division, chasing down an AL East crown.
Did you like the COVID year where they played the teams that were
because
closest to them?
that was a one-off.
No, but did you like it? Because I did.
Yeah, I did, but that was a one-off. That now you're gonna have the same scheduling format where they're all gonna play the same teams in different leagues multiple times.
I'm sick of the Rays. I'm definitely sick of the Rays. I kind of
you're gonna have Rays. You're gonna have Rays,
Marlins,
Braves. Nationals, Braves, and whatever the new team in Nashville is gonna be.
Yeah,
like, I don't enjoy that. I'm sorry. I don't like these random cockamamie.
They're not random. They're geographical.
They are.
Leave
Why do they need
comments
to be
below.
geographical? Yeah.
Well, because it makes their lives easier.
Do we need to make guys that make $40 million a year's lives easier? They're sitting on planes that are specially made for all of them. That the seats transform into beds. They've got masseuses, acupuncturists, anything they could possibly want on these airplanes. Is it that inconvenient for them to fly 4 hours to the West Coast?
Well, they will.
Think about it.
They'll be playing against those teams. It's not like they're not going to be playing against them.
And they're not flying from LA to play the Dodgers on Wednesday and then Boston on Thursday. They're not doing that either. They go out for West Coast trips where they are out there for 2 weeks.
Right, which is my point. Doesn't matter.
Like
they're gonna play all the same teams. It's just the divisions are gonna be different.
Yeah, and that's why I don't like it. I'm not a fan, and I'll never be a fan.
Let us know below what you think, because I'm the old person here, and I'm like, yeah, change it. Who cares?
Yeah, I thought you'd sit here with your cane in the air and be like, I want the classics.
No.
Speaking of old guys that get hurt, even though he's not that old, Francisco Alvarez dove into second base on his stolen base on his double attempt during that Williamsport Classic game. He's now going for an MRI on his thumb after jamming it. Not what the Mets look.
You ever jam fingers?
Awful. The worst.
Oh, it's the worst.
The only thing I'd say worse than a finger is a toe. You wake up in the middle of the night and jam your big toe on the wall, you're ready to cut your foot off and get rid of that thing.
Yeah. So thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. You get local analysis on a national scale. You can find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. So that'll do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.